Why is fashion so fat phobic? From the models on the runways to celebrities on the red carpet, it is very noticeable that thin is very much in. But this is not just a trend. Plus size models are disappearing from campaigns and body diversity is fading away completely from the fashion industry. Is this due to the rise of Ozempic? And what do people like myself who love fashion but we don't fit into the shrinking standards do when it comes to this very problematic topic? Stick around as I dive more into the fashion industry's obsession with thinness and its disdain for plus sizes. So I wanted to do a video about this because in the past couple of months, I have been on the hunt for the perfect wedding guest dress. I have a wedding that I'm going to in March, or actually this weekend, and I've been looking for the perfect dress for it. This is the first wedding or first big occasion that I've gotten a chance to really be excited about what I can wear and what I'm going to wear, because I have more of a disposable income now and I want to start investing in quality pieces, beautiful artistic pieces, well crafted and well made pieces that are going to last me forever. And I was so excited to look for that perfect dress. I had a couple of things in mind. I wanted something that was like just springy, you know, like pastel colors, beautiful greens, blues, patterns, florals, just something that just screamed spring. And I had no idea how frustrating and just anxiety feeling the process would be. I thought, okay, I can splurge a little bit more on a dress. I can spend between like $300 to $600 on a dress if I really wanted to. And that pushed me to wanting to look at more contemporary designers, looking at more luxury designers to see what I can buy. I was more concerned that it would be my budget that wasn't enough, but little did I know it was my size that was the problem. I wear anything between a US 16 to a US 20, depending on the brand. And so when I started looking for dresses, I just fell into this world of just like frustration and anger in the way that like clothes for women are being sold and the ideas that are being pushed upon us. I think personally, the lack of diversity on the runways definitely have trickled in stores, and I think they've always been like that, but for some reason, maybe it's because now I'm not really shopping at like the Zara's and the H&M's, and I'm moving up to more stores like Staud or buying a lot of things from like Nordstrom's or Neiman's, but I just feel like the size and body inclusivity has drastically decreased and has really limited me in terms of like where I can buy and what I can buy. So the lack of body diversity is definitely being shown online and in stores. To find this dress, I've gone to like 4 different malls to just try things on to, oh, hi, baby. Just see what's gonna fit me, and I've had little to no luck. According to Vogue Business, the 2020 spring and summer runway across all 4 fashion cities, so we're talking about New York, we're talking about Milan, Paris, and London, there are about 86 plus size models, and that accounted for about 2.8% of all of the models that were being shown during Fashion Month. That was considered progress. I know 2.8% is not a lot, but when you think of where it was before, it's progress for sure. Fast forward to spring summer 2025, where plus size models account for 0.8%, a drastic decrease. And when we even talk about mid-size models, they account for 4% in 2025. Let's go over some terminology. In fashion, if you are a size 0 to 4, you're considered straight size, when those are the models that we normally see on the runway. Mid-size is anyone who's between a 6 and a 12. Mid-size, according to Vogue, isn't really acknowledged by the fashion industry because anyone who's above a size 4 is considered to be plus size. Let that sink in. Anyone above a size 4 is plus size. Nowadays, we're trying to push for people to consider that plus size is anyone above a 14. So 14 and up. Also very crazy because that's a large range of sizes. According to Forbes, the average US woman is a size 16 to 18. 10 years ago, it used to be a 14. If the industry considers anyone above a size 4 to be plus size, how does that industry serve everyday people? Who are your clothes for? Who are you trying to sell this image to? I think this makes me think of an experience that I had a couple weeks ago. So I ordered this beautiful dress from a brand and I was like so excited to try it on. And I looked at their website and they seemed like they were size inclusive. They went all the way up to an XXL. So normally when I think of like where I fit into sizes, I usually aim for an XL. And so I rather things be a little bit bigger than smaller because then I can always get them tailored. So I ordered the XXL. I get this dress and it will not go even above my ankles. That's how tiny it is. And I'm like, what size is this? And then I look further into the brand and on a small sheet of paper, and I don't remember even seeing this on their website, that a size XXL is the size 12 or 14. And I was just so mad because if I see something that says XXL, I'm assuming that it's an actual 2X and it's meant for, plus size body. But for a 14 or a 12 is not plus size. They're normal size bodies, they're mid-size bodies in fashion terms. And so I can only think of the body dysmorphia that, number one, it's giving me because I'm like, oh my God, I don't fit into 2X. But also people on the other end of the spectrum who are like, oh my God, I'm a size 12, but now I fit a 2X. So my mind was just blown about that because I'm like, who are you serving? It seems at this point that like brands are just doing whatever they want and labeling things whatever they want. With the runways lacking body diversity and the amount of mid-size models and plus-size models decreasing so drastically from the 2019 and 2020 norms is really concerning. It just shows that the body inclusivity or size diversity that was being pushed on the runways at that time are just trends. And my body is not a trend. The idea that fashion is using the acceptance that I have for my body and the acceptance that you have and so many people struggle to have for their body as a way to sell clothes or to gain traction is really cringy. It gives me the ick. It really does. I can't help but think if this is an effect of the GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy that kind of have been in mainstream media for 2 years now, I think. So in this Vogue business article, according to Bank of America, I have no idea what Bank of America knows about fashion, but it's funny, it's capitalism. According to them, 1/7 of the US population will be on some type of GLP-1 by 2030. That's literally like 5 years away. That's so close and that's so wild for me to think of. Like, wow. If that's the case, I just hope that everyone is making the decision for themselves and not letting corporations and influencers force them or make them feel like they need it. It's such a big topic, like on social media for the past several months. I just have been given like ads back to back about like weight loss, or this person just got Ozempic for Christmas and they're so happy. And even for me, like on a personal level, I think that I've had people tell me like, oh, why struggle losing weight at a gym? Just get on Ozempic. It's fine. I don't want something like that to be shoved down my throat. I want myself to learn about it and make my own informed decision. And if I do decide at some point this is the best for me, I want to consult with my doctor and my doctor and I to make that decision, not for me to feel peer pressured into doing it. And also, I think about how will this affect fashion. I just kind of see that this will be an excuse to further push the narrative that thin is in, thin is beautiful, curves and fat is not. I can see retailers and brands using this as an excuse of like, oh yeah, like, let's not make plus size clothes anymore. And it will turn an industry that's already failing so many women into a worse situation where it's not really serving anyone, or it's serving only people who can afford the GLP-1 drugs. So if the average woman is a size 16 to 18, why isn't the fashion industry changing their standards? I think that is a question that I think about often, because it just seems as if it's a system that's not serving a majority of people. Honestly, it seems as if fashion is sending plus size people a message of, you can't sit with us. We don't want you here. And it's super hurtful. I think historically, when it comes to plus sizes, stores who have plus sizes or companies who do have plus sizes, they tend to be very outdated sections or outdated clothes. There's the notorious cold shoulder, which is just like clothes that always have like the shoulder exposed. And for the longest time, people thought that was just a trend, but it came out recently that it's just laziness of brands. Shoulders are really hard to measure for mass groups, and so they just cut out the shoulders to save themselves some time. But yeah, plus size clothes always seem like they're from the 90s, and not like the fun 90s or the cool 90s. I actually have an example of this. About 2 days ago, I went to Nordstrom's because I was still, up until 2 days ago, I was looking for that dress still. And I asked, oh, where's your plus size section? And it was just the saddest little section I've ever seen. It was like all graphic tees on the walls and jeans. There weren't that many dress options, and if there were, they were so outdated. And it even was like worse when I saw the mannequins. Like earlier when I had walked into the store, the small mannequins were dressed with like personality and style. Like there was intention. They wanted to grab you and like bring you into the store, versus like these plus size mannequins, they had no personality. It just seems as if someone threw some clothes on them and was like, this is good enough. And I think that's how I feel personally a lot of the times when I am looking through plus size racks, where it's just like, this is good enough. This is all that they deserve. And it's hurtful. I know we've all seen the reports this year of luxury brands losing money, companies not making as much as they did 2020, 2022, and 2023. Spending is going down. And it makes me think, like, why not tap into the plus size market? I think the reason why they aren't doing that is because brands don't want to take the extra time to make patterns for plus size clothes correctly. They don't want to take the extra time and spend the extra money to market to plus size people. They don't want to waste the money. They want to like only produce clothes that they know will sell, and that's going to be the smaller sizes. And if they do produce some type of plus size in their collections, it's going to be at a very limited amount. I don't know, I think it just shows that like capitalism isn't patient, and companies and brands would rather just be lazy rather than tapping into the plus size market. It just kind of makes me think like they don't want my money, and I don't want to work for my money and give it to people who treat me like crap. So to wrap it up, I know I just threw a lot of things out there, but I just wanted to rant about how The lack of body diversity in fashion just doesn't make sense. It doesn't, it really doesn't make sense to me. I just feel like companies are leaving money on the table. I'm not saying to make fashion all about money, even though low-key it is, but it just sends a deeper message to me, because like if businesses and companies are not willing to take the time to I guess like appeal to the plus size customer, then it kind of shows me that like they don't care about the plus size customer. I don't really know what the solution is or how to fix this, but I do think having more conversations like this is really important to keep talking about how fashion is meant to be for everyone, and right now it's just for some. Things are being gatekept, and I think letting stores know that like we're not happy as customers. Like when I was shopping for the dress, everywhere that I went, I would speak to sales associates and be like, oh, you don't have a plus size section? That's really sad, because I would totally buy this, you know? Having people who actually work in the industry know that like, hey, this is not okay is super important. Having these conversations, it'll help hold the brands and hold the companies accountable for not serving like everyone and being fat phobic. We can uplift brands that show us that they care about body diversity and size inclusivity. So like brands like Hanifa, which is a Black-owned brand. I have so many dresses from them and I love them. They're beautiful, they're well crafted. They feel as if like they're dresses that I don't have to squeeze my body into because they weren't meant for me. She does a really good job and is really thoughtful when it comes to her customers. French brands like Esther Mantis, I think that's how to pronounce it, where they create these like really sexy, beautiful looks. Their recent show in the Vogue article, they also mentioned this. They had their spring 2025 show was about the elephant in the room, and it was like they call out the fashion industry, which I think is really cool. Ghani, they aren't perfect, but it is a step in the right direction, which I appreciate. And whenever you go into a Ghani store, you always get like wonderful customer service. I went to one in Dallas and I had the best sales associate. She was just so kind and she worked with me and was like, we don't have all the plus sizes, but this is what we do have in store. Let's work to see what fits your style and what you like, and we'll go from there. Just super kind. How can we make the shopping experience better? That is something that I'm still working on. I'm not 100% sure what the best answer is. What has worked for me is having my measurements written down, and so when I'm shopping online, I can look at my measurements and look at the brand size guide. And then when shopping in person, I think just having patience with yourself and just kind of like mentally preparing yourself like, okay, if I go into the store and they don't have a plus size section or they don't have anything I can try on, that's perfectly okay. This is not a representation of me. It's something that I know is systemically wrong with fashion. I never want to give it the power to drive me crazy or to make me lose confidence in myself and in my beauty. I will never be a size 4. I know that, and nor do I want to be a size 4. I'm going to still find my way of enjoying fashion and letting the fashion industry know that I'm here to stay, and my voice matters. It always has and it always will, regardless if you want to listen or not. If you're not going to listen, there will be someone who do listen, and I will find the companies and the brands that want me as a customer. Okay, that was a lot. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am super interested in hearing all of your thoughts, so please comment below on if you agree with some of the things that I mentioned or if you disagree or what your experiences have been, and I will catch you guys all in the next video. Thank you. Bye.
Girl, I'm sorry, I was blind. But you're always on my mind. You're always on my mind.
That was really great. No, get out! Get out! Get out!